Heat 76ers. Wow, what a play-in matchup this is going to be for both teams as they are fighting for their playoff lives. Remember, the winner of this game will get the number 7 seed in the Eastern Conference and face the Knicks in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. This is Sports Guy Talking that you guys are watching and listening to. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to talk about Joel Embiid having a golden opportunity to lead the 76ers into the NBA playoffs once again. Even though the 76ers have struggled at times this season, they finished the regular season on a 6-game winning streak as they are catching fire at the right time. As for the Heat, they are in the play-in tournament for the second straight season, as it has been familiar territory for this roster. Before I say anything else, though, I want to present you guys with the topic question. So here it is: who will win the play-in matchup, Heat or 76ers? And this one was one of the harder games for me to decide, but I'm going to ultimately go with the Philadelphia 76ers in this one. Why? Because I'm hearing that Joel Embiid is coming back for the Philadelphia 76ers. And when you hear that kind of news, that is obviously huge news for the Philadelphia 76ers, because Joel Embiid is one of the best players in the NBA. When you talk about top 5 players in the NBA, you have to put Joel Embiid on that list. Why? Because of the fact that Joel Embiid can impact the game at any given time. The way that he can dominate the paint and the way that he can be a rim protector on defense, it's really impressive in and of itself. And obviously the Philadelphia 76ers are a completely different team with Joel Embiid on their lineup. When Joel Embiid is playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, they turn into title contenders. When Joel Embiid isn't on the floor for the Philadelphia 76ers, they are a fringe playoff team at best, even with the emergence of Tyrese Maxey. Let's just be honest with ourselves. The roster of the Philadelphia 76ers just isn't that good without Joel Embiid. There's a reason why there are heavily reliant on Tyrese Maxey. And don't get me wrong, Tyrese Maxey has been an excellent player for the Philadelphia 76ers, but Tyrese Maxey should not be your best player when you are contending for a title. And obviously Tyrese Maxey is their number 2 option on the Philadelphia 76ers because they don't have a better number 2 option to rely on. Obviously Joel Embiid is an excellent number 1 option. The problem with Joel Embiid is that he can never stay healthy. Now, it looks like Joel Embiid is going to play for the 76ers tonight, so let's see if Joel Embiid can make major impact for the Philadelphia 76ers and that he can actually stay on the court. I don't necessarily like Joel Embiid in the playoffs because I don't think he raises his game come playoff time, but I think Joel Embiid is an excellent regular season player. And although this is not quite the regular season nor the postseason, it's kind of something in between, which is called the play-in tournament. And I think Joel Embiid is going to play a really good basketball game. I know that the Miami Heat can use Bam Adebayo to slow down Joel Embiid, but I think Joel Embiid is going to play like a possessed man and that he's going to get the job done for the Philadelphia 76ers at Philly, because you guys got to remember that this game is at Philly. It's not in Miami now. If this game was in Miami, I would pick the Miami Heat to win this game. But the good news for the Philadelphia 76ers is that this game is in Philadelphia, and obviously the Philadelphia 76ers are a better basketball team when they play at home than they do on the road. This is not the New Orleans Pelicans we're talking about, where they just have strange records and strange trends. Obviously, you look at the 76ers team, they're a good basketball team at home, and that's because of the fans. The fans in Philadelphia do a really good job supporting their home team, and obviously the Philadelphia 76ers play with more confidence at home than they do on the road. Obviously, they're going to need other role players to step up for the Philadelphia 76ers, but I think Joel Embiid is going to go off big time. I think Joel Embiid is going to score at least 30 points in this game. I think that Bam Adebayo is going to get cooked by Joel Embiid in the play-in matchup, and I know that Jimmy Butler is a real thing come playoff time, but Jimmy Butler is going to get limited against the Philadelphia 76ers because the 76ers are a well-coached team and they do play defense somewhat to an extent. I know that we are living in 2024 where basically nobody plays defense in the NBA, but this is a play-in tournament game, so maybe both teams will actually try a little harder on defense. Obviously, you look at coaching, you've got 2 elite coaches going at it. Nick Nurse for the Philadelphia 76ers is one of the best coaches in all of basketball. If you guys don't remember who Nick Nurse is, he won a title on the Toronto Raptors. Anytime you're a head coach and you win a title on the Raptors, that means you're a really good head coach. I can't believe the Raptors fired him last year because Nick Nurse is one of the best coaches in all of basketball. And then, of course, you got to look at Eric Spoelstra, who is one of the best coaches in the NBA. And if you want to talk about a head coach that can get more talent out of any roster, then Eric Spoelstra is your guy. Eric Spoelstra took the Miami Heat to the finals not once but twice without LeBron James. You look at how the Miami Heat have managed to stay functional even after the departure of LeBron James many years ago, and how they have been able to build sustained success over the years. And some people wonder, why is that? It's not like the Miami Heat have superstars on their team. Well, for one, they do have a superstar come playoff time. Yes, I know he doesn't play like a superstar in the regular season, but we all know that come playoff time, Jimmy Butler plays like a superstar, and obviously they developed Bam Adebayo into a really good center. Of course, you also got to look at how the Miami Heat do a good job spacing the floor as well. Yeah, they might not have superstars, but they got a lot of three-point shooters on their team, and in today's NBA, you need three-point shooting more so than anything else, and that's why they're getting career years out of multiple role players. Anytime you look at a role player in Miami, oh, they turn into a star more often than not. That's because Eric Spoelstra is putting those guys in positions to succeed, and obviously this game is going to be a mastermind of coaching for both sides, because you look at the greatest strengths these two teams have, it's both coaching, and obviously Nick Nurse has been able to keep the 76ers in playoff contention even while losing an MVP candidate in Joel Embiid for most of the second half of the season, because of the fact that he was able to develop Tyrese and Maxey into a star player, and how he has been able to elevate the other 76ers role players. If Doc Rivers was still the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, this team would have probably had a worse record in the Eastern Conference, but the fact that the Philadelphia 76ers are still having a pretty good season despite injuries and losing James Harden in the trade, that's pretty good in and of itself. You look at how the Philadelphia 76ers look like an absolute mess when they traded away James Harden to the Los Angeles Clippers, but the Philadelphia 76ers have been able to stay afloat throughout the year because of strong coaching, because of the fact that they have a strong culture in place, and the fact that Joel Embiid was playing excellent basketball for the Philadelphia 76ers. Like I said though, the Philadelphia 76ers need to win this game more so than the Miami Heat do. I know that both teams need to win this game, but I think the 76ers need it more than the Miami Heat do, mainly because of rest. Because if you guys remember, the winner of this game, they don't have to play again until Saturday at least, and obviously the Philadelphia 76ers are a little banged up. If they can get Joel Embiid a little bit of extra rest, that obviously is going to help out those guys big time. Obviously the loser of this game, they're probably going to win the second play-in game, mainly because of the fact that the 9 seed and the 10 seed in the Eastern Conference is absolutely pathetic. You look at how the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls, they're absolutely pathetic, and that they probably shouldn't even have gotten an invite in the play-in tournament game, but they're only the 9 and 10 seed because the rest of the Eastern Conference is absolutely pathetic, and the Atlanta Hawks are heading into their play-in game on a 6-game losing streak, so that should tell you everything you need to know about how bad the Atlanta Hawks have been this year. Even with the return of Trae Young, that Hawks roster is not a good team whatsoever, and of course you look at the Chicago Bulls team, they're not a good team whatsoever either, even though I know they've been dealing with injuries. For the most part, they're not a good basketball team. So obviously the loser of the Miami Heat Philadelphia 76ers game, they're probably going to go on and win their second play-in tournament game, but that's besides the point. What I'm here to talk about is who's going to win this game, and I'm going to pick the Philadelphia 76ers to win this game because of the fact that Joel Embiid is the best player on the court, and that he is going to be suiting up for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, if Joel Embiid wasn't playing for the Philadelphia 76ers, okay, that might be a different story, but he is going to play in this game, and he's going to play really good basketball for them, and I think Tyrese Maxey is also going to step it up as well. You look at how the Miami Heat team, yeah, they got good role players, and they got playoff Jimmy Butler on their side, and Bam Adebayo is a good number 2 option, don't get me wrong, but you look at this roster, and you're thinking, how does this roster match up well against the Philadelphia 76ers? Joel Embiid is going to eat this team alive, and of course, you look at how the Miami Heat team is filled with way too many role players on their team, and we know that superstar players get the job done in games like this. I think Joel Embiid is going to have an excellent game. Look, I'll say this for the Miami Heat. If the Miami Heat want to win this game, of course, Jimmy Butler's got to play great in this game, obviously, and obviously, Bam Adebayo's got to play efficient basketball as well, but they also need a third guy to rise to the top. Is that going to be Tyler Hero? Is that going to be Terry Rozier? We'll see and find out. I'm not really too confident in either of those guys in terms of showing up against the Philadelphia 76ers, because the Philadelphia 76ers are more top heavy compared to the Miami Heat team, and obviously Tyrese Maxey has been balling out for the 76ers big time. There's a reason why the Philadelphia 76ers trust him tremendously. That's because he's a really good basketball player, and he's been putting in the work to improve his game big time. A star duo of Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey should be enough for the 76ers to beat the Miami Heat in this one. I do think this game will be close throughout this one, but I think the Philadelphia 76ers are going to win this game by 6 points. I think the 76ers are going to score 111 points, while the Miami Heat score 105 points. I think it's going to be close throughout, but I think the difference in this game is going to be Joel Embiid balling out in this game, and he's going to get the job done for the Philadelphia 76ers. Remember, the winner of this game ends up playing the New York Knicks in round 1 of the NBA playoffs. I think if you're the New York Knicks, you would rather play the Sixers more so than you would play the Heat, and I think they're going to get their wish because the Philadelphia 76ers are going to beat those guys and get the number 7 seed in the Eastern Conference. So that's why the 76ers will beat the Heat in their play-in matchup, as they will win by the score of 111 to 105. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking, like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @Dustin Tran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @Dustin Tran and that Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @Dustin Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.